Every January, millions of people wake up and decide that this is the month. They finally become thinner, happier, more productive, more disciplined, more acceptable. And if that doesn't happen immediately, oh, well, apparently that's a personal failing. But if January makes you feel like you're a failure before you've even had a cup of tea, that might not be a you problem. According to multiple surveys, around 40 to 45% of adults make New Year's resolutions, and by the end of January, roughly 80% of them have already given up. Which means January doesn't inspire change, it manufactures shame. And today I want to talk about why January is actually the worst possible month to try and fix yourself. Especially if you're disabled, chronically ill, neurodivergent, or just a human being living under capitalism. This is not an anti-goals video, this is an anti-self-punishment one. But a quick pause before we continue dismantling January as a concept. Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark. And no, this is not an ad about fixing yourself, optimizing yourself, or becoming a new improved human by the end of the month, because you are already doing enough. Surfshark is a VPN, a tool that protects your internet connection when you're online, which, let's be honest, is most of January because it's really cold and dark. Did you know your data can be exposed to tracking, hacking, and snooping just through your Wi-Fi connection? A VPN keeps your browsing private and secure. It's less be your best self and more please don't let strangers know what I'm shopping for at 2 a.m. And let me tell you about Surfshark's new email scam checker. January is absolutely rife with emails telling you that if you just buy the right thing, this supplement, that course, a suspiciously aggressive pair of leggings, you will finally be fixed. Add to that the occasional dodgy sponsorship email, and it's a lot. The email scam checker is built into Surfshark's Chrome extension, and it detects phishing attempts and malicious links before you click on them. It's easy to use, it runs in the background, and it gives you one less thing to worry about, which is frankly revolutionary in January. Surfshark also now has over 4,500 servers in 140 locations, so you can browse securely and privately from pretty much anywhere. And yes, that includes streaming shows that aren't available in your country, which feels like a much healthier January goal than pretending you're going to become a morning person. I joke, I am actually a morning person. I just also have insomnia. What is sleep? If you want to try it, go to surfshark.com/Jessica and use code Jessica at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN for free. Or if it's easier, you can just scan the QR code that's on screen right now. Oh, how easy. And now, back to why January doesn't need to be about fixing you, because capitalism can simply calm down for 5 minutes. Why January is the worst month to fix yourself. The January myth. We're told January is a fresh start, but fresh start for who exactly? Research into behavior change shows that most long-term habits don't actually stick when they're motivated by guilt or social pressure, which is exactly how January resolutions are framed. And yet every year we're bombarded with detoxes, productivity systems, new year, new you kind of messaging. And globally, the fitness and wellness industries make billions of pounds every January alone, banking on the idea that your body and your life are fundamentally inadequate. January isn't about growth, it's about urgency, and urgency is capitalism's favourite emotion. According to Retail Weekly, annually January buying habits shift from festive spending to value-driven purchases, or what's sold to the consumer is valuable anyway. So the focus is more on health and wellness, like gym gear that you might not continue to use all year round, or that protein powder you just have to have, and home items or renovations. These items being deemed essential mean they often skip the post-holiday sales low buy resolutions. But are they really essential? I don't know about you, but my algorithm is currently feeding me a lot of throw everything out and become a minimalist right now. I mean, a colourful one, obviously. I really don't like black and white. And each reel or TikTok seems to come with just this exhaustive list of items I need to purchase to make my minimalist life possible. We're also all looking for discounts on big ticket items, with online buy now, pay later deals growing this month. It's the cheapest it will be all year, right now. You should buy it right now. Have you not made any huge savings this year yet? How are you going to make a huge saving if you haven't bought anything? It's the moralizing of improvement though that gets me. January's the month where capitalism looks at disabled people, chronically ill people, exhausted people, and just says, have you tried trying harder? January is physically hard. Shouldn't rest be part of this narrative? I don't often admit this because my birthday is in January, so I feel an odd Stockholm Syndrome sense of loyalty to it. But January is not the best month. It's not even top 10. You can create your own monthly ranking in the comments section. Try to be honest about your birth month here, but January sucks. It's an awful month to decide to make new me transformative resolutions. January is physically brutal. Cold weather has been shown to increase joint pain and stiffness, worsen fatigue in chronically ill people, trigger flare-ups for conditions like arthritis and fibromyalgia and MS, and on top of that, seasonal affective disorder affects an estimated 2 to 3 million people in the UK alone, including my wife. Please don't mention the sun to her right now. It's a very touchy and delicate subject. Daylight hours are at their lowest. Immune systems are already under strain, and asking yourself to overhaul your entire life in January is like saying, I know you're exhausted, cold, and in pain, but have you tried becoming a completely different person? Have you tried a 7 a.m. freezing park run on a broken ankle? That's not motivation. That is cruelty dressed up as self-help, because January isn't about becoming better, it's about becoming more profitable. Capitalism loves January shame. January works so well because shame is profitable. Studies on consumer behavior consistently show that people are more likely to spend money when they feel inadequate, which is why diet culture peaks, gym memberships spike, and are often then abandoned in February. Productivity apps promise transformation, not support. Capitalism doesn't want you rested, it wants you constantly self-correcting. And crucially, this system was never designed with disabled people in mind. Why should I buy a productivity product in January when it wouldn't help my ADHD in midsummer either? Because adverts right now are telling me, you can do it, this will change your life, this is what you've been waiting a year for. And of course, rest equals laziness. But if self-improvement is framed as a moral obligation, then surely it should be aware that my actual moral obligation is to my children, and that's where morally my energy should go, on improving myself to be a better parent. Oh wait, that's why all of those parenting Instagrammers are suddenly trying to sell me their courses, and that's why all the educational toys are on sale right now. I mean, I guess if I bought them, my babies would be crawling by now. My 4-year-old would be reading chapter books. No. But they're definitely going to tell me that in the adverts. Don't worry, if you're exhausted in January, there's already a product willing to blame you for it. The ableism of fix yourself. Beyond being an exhausted parent to twin babies and a child who gets upset if I mix up the wives of the various King Georges, I also have a physical disability that means I can't get cold. I have connective tissue problems, and thus my connective tissue seizes up in the cold. And yes, I've tried warm things. Everyone always says, stop worrying about what you look like. Just get something warmer. And I'm like, I have done this, obviously. I have tried. Do you think I want to be in pain? I do not. No matter how many pairs of gloves I have wrapped my hands in when I go out in the cold, it is so incredibly painful. It feels like my fingernails are being pulled off. And then the minute I get back into any kind of warmth, my fingers just swell up to like twice the size, especially the tips. And I can't really feel my feet normally anyway, but I can't feel them, especially in the cold. The indescribable pain that happens when I suddenly can feel them. It's fine, I don't need to feel them. I don't need to feel my feet. And the exhaustion after all that, because obviously being in a lot of pain makes you feel exhausted. And then I just can't, and then I get a migraine because there's like the neck and shoulder pain from being cold, and all my muscles are seizing and cramping. What is the point? Why go for a walk in the cold? I'm not seeing any pros here. So the language of January. Fix yourself, get back on track, optimize is, at least for me, deeply freaking ableist. It assumes that bodies are machines, that struggle is a personal flaw, that rest is something you must earn. If you saw my video on the clean girl phenomenon, then you'll already know my thoughts on the pressure to perform wellness. But boy, does it get me angry. Disabled people are constantly treated as projects, bodies in need of improvement rather than support. Actual accommodations, like needing to amend something on a menu, travel with a carer, or use a mobility item, are deemed annoying. But trying the couch to 5K will change your life. It's just toxic positivity versus realistic care. The things you actually need that will actually be helpful. Yet, my body isn't broken though, and neither is yours, whether you're disabled or not. As many disability scholars note, the biggest barriers disabled people face aren't medical, they're social and structural. Not to say that I'm suddenly not disabled when alone in a room. I very much Still am. That pain is still there. But doing the couch to 5K is not going to make it better. The problem isn't our bodies. The problem is the systems demanding a certain type of productivity from bodies that are already doing their best. Productivity as a whole is a weird concept, really, because we're all multifaceted and better at some things and not others, and thus I'm probably going to be more productive than a top athlete at something that does not relate to being an athlete, because we all have our own skills. I'm really good at putting things into a fridge. I can just Tetris all the pieces in. Another of my skills is being able to see minute differences in colour. It's a curse when you have to open a second tin of paint. I'll tell you that. So what actually helps in January? Not transformation. Maintenance. Research into burnout recovery shows that stability and predictability are far more effective than drastic change. January might be the month for just keeping things ticking over, lowering our expectations, stabilizing routines, checking in with our energy levels, choosing consistency over ambition, or choosing nothing at all, choosing rest without the guilt. You don't renovate a house in a storm. You keep the heat on, you make tea, you survive. You don't go for a freaking run in Lycra. January is a maintenance month, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You cuddle up on that sofa with that nice warm blanket, and you feel that joy as resistance. Existing comfortably in a world that profits from your discomfort is a quietly radical act. You deserve to take up space. And remember, if January feels heavy, you are not failing. You are responding normally to a system that asks too much at the worst possible time. You don't need a new you. You need kindness, especially from yourself, and maybe permission to stop trying to earn your worth. If you're comfortable, tell me in the comments how you're getting through January, not fixing it. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to try it out, go to surfshark.com/Jessica or use code Jessica at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN for free. You can also use the QR code on screen. This year we're going to be doing uploads on Wednesdays due to my main editor Clara being very heavily pregnant and about to have a baby at any time. Congratulations, Clara. So thank you to the other editors that I have stepping into place. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in my next video.